Back at Tierney Field, it's the final lacrosse game of the year at the college level. Glenn Clark alongside former Penn State All-American Tatum Coffey. And Tatum, we've reached the Division III All-Star game here on IWLCA TV. And as we keep saying, one more opportunity for these players to play at the college level.
We've seen a lot of hard work today and a lot of smiles, so it's been definitely a fun day for them as well as for us.
That's been the word, right? Have fun, and that's what we've seen these players doing so far, have fun. In both the first two games, the North came out on top. In Game 3, let's take a look at our keys to the game. We'll begin with the team from the North, and we see that for them to win today, as they are coached by Ann Phillips from William Smith, what she wants them to do, adapt to their positions, just, having to play different spots that you're not used to necessarily. Then you want to be unselfish as well and work together.
Exactly.
For the South, the keys to the game today we see as they are led by head coach Mike Faith from Franklin and Marshall. Have fun, be competitive, and be tough man-to-man. They have playing his own defense. They're going to go man up, so you just got to handle those assignments.
Yeah, we've definitely seen a common theme here, Glenn. We've seen a lot of coaches saying have fun.
Right.
And I definitely agree with them. Like you said, it's a last chance for these players to play, especially, when you get to the D3 point, these players might not play play again after this. Right. They might not coach, so this is a great opportunity for them to enjoy it.
Players to watch, we begin with the North team again, and we see Allison Flaherty from William Smith.
So, yeah, she's a midi, and she's a first-team All-American. She has 49 goals, 43 ground balls.
Yes, well-rounded player, Allison Flaherty. Our other player to watch from the North team, Sarah Honan, who's playing for her head coach in goal. Honan this season, the first-team All-American. 57.1 save percentage.
Yeah, that's amazing. She had a 7-goal average save this year.
A 4.79.
Yeah.
That's less than 5 goals per game that she allowed. Player to watch for the South as we're just about ready for the opening draw control. We'll have to tell you about that in a second because we got to get ready for lacrosse. We're ready to go.
We're ready to go.
Quick
the last
games.
Game of the day.
This is it. Last game of the year.
Of the year, you're right.
Level. Tatum,
yeah.
So glad that you are with us for this one, the Division III All-Star game. The South team is in the white jerseys. They will be headed from left to right on your internet dial here in the first half. The North team is in the blue jerseys. They'll be headed from right to left. We mentioned Sarah Honan in goal for the North team. In goal for the South is Shannon Keeler from Gettysburg.
What a quick draw right off the bat.
Very clean draw control victory in the South.
That was number 10, Stephanie Athens from Messiah College.
Looking to push it forward. Feed inside, and that's 12 seconds, much like in our last game.
That was exactly like the last game. A quick start
12
for
seconds.
The North team.
Or getting the South, that is. Gets on the board
first. Oh, the South.
Right.
Yeah, the quick start for the South team.
Getting on the board very quickly to make it 1-0 with just 12 seconds gone by here in the first half. That was exactly what you're looking for off an opening draw control victory.
Yeah, what I'm noticing from even, every team, what we saw in the D2 team, a lot of common colleges, and we see a big variety here, Glenn.
Yeah, that's a great point. The D3 level, a lot of schools represented by these two teams. As we go back to the draw control. By the way, just to finish off something from the D2 All-Star game, we were debating who was going to be MVP. It was goalie Lauren Oakes from the North by way of Bentley, who was named MVP of our Division II All-Star game. 1-0 as North gets it for the first time here today. Trying to get something going, no space being given, as it was Kelly Wall who was trying to get inside there. And we saw in the D2 game, Tatum, a little bit more of a patient offensive approach. That one knocked down, ground ball taken the other way.
Yeah, I'm curious if we're going to see the same thing for the D3 game. The D1 game seemed to be more urgent. Again, like you said, the D2 was patience. I'm curious to see what we have here today.
I should mention for the South, in goal, Shannon Keeler from Gettysburg. Of course, the Bullets this year, national champions.
Great play by the goalkeeper right
getting
there.
All the way out there to make that play. From William Smith, playing for her head coach, Ann Phillips.
Here on North, we got a fast player coming down the field.
Right, trying to move the ball very quickly. Got a bit of a frenetic pace to start this one. I believe that was Cortez. Yeah, it's Giselle Cortez from Rowan, the second-team All-American, who was moving that one to get the North into their offense. Now getting inside. Ooh, thinking about a shot, but not taking it. Interesting defensive strategy. It looks like they've got the defender sort of camped out on the crease. Can you tell me a little bit about that, Tatum?
Yeah, I think they're just being ready to crash, and they're willing to help each other out. I think teamwork is huge when you haven't played with these girls, so you see the quick double right there is very important.
Jaeger fires it to the other side. Ball on the turf. Battle for the ball continues, and it's picked up. Great ground ball right there by Tina Balzotti.
And a great check going back the other way.
We saw a lot of that in the D2 game.
A check to the face. You see her goggles came off her head. That's number 7 with the ball now.
Catherine Vincent.
Alexandra Bird has the ball for the North team.
So Bird drives to goal line extended. Now she tries to step back in front, and there you go. Even it up, 1 apiece.
A great shot by number 7, Alexandra Bird from William Smith College.
Yeah, she had 49 goals this season. And again, we keep trying to do this today, but that should count, right?
Yeah,
that should be number 50.
To get to the 50th goal.
Right.
Yeah, that's a tough one to say, but what I can tell you right now from the North team, they got a lot of attackers.
Right, and that was something that we talked about a little bit with Ann
About
Phillips,
9,
is that
yeah.
she was going to have to play some of those attackers.
As midfielders,
Yep.
again, going back to adapting to different positions.
Correct. 1-1 game.
1-1 game. The sun is shining here.
Yes, gorgeous day in the suburb of Baltimore, Sparks, Maryland, in northern Baltimore County. It is absolutely gorgeous here today.
75
Perfect.
degrees.
Not too hot.
Great day for some lacrosse.
And to celebrate the game of lacrosse, right? Like it's less about competition. Not to say these girls aren't being competitive.
They
They're
are,
being
and
very
I love
competitive.
seeing that. Yeah, it's great to see, but they're also enjoying.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
This is a celebration of not just your season, but of your career in college. And for the family members and the friends that came out today to Tierney Field, that's what they're doing, is they're just celebrating these players and what they've accomplished in their career. Going to get a free position opportunity here.
So I'm curious to see if they run it in or shoot it far out. I'm a big fan of running it in, but we'll see what they do here.
Catherine Vincent from Washington College, who goes low and just puts that one home nicely.
And just like saying before, I think running the ball in on an 8-meter shot is very important because you have a free shot. Why not take your time and run it in rather than shooting it far out, giving yourself a disadvantage?
Vincent from Washington College, the Shoreman, 2-time All-Centennial Conference first-team performer. Makes it 2-1, South on top, 5 minutes into this first half.
And again, the stands are packed, and I love seeing that. You have a lot of family members and friends. You could see some players from even the D2 team are still here.
And that's the cool thing, that you just see people sort of gathering, just kind of lingering around, hanging out, having fun. It's just a fun day to be here at US Lacrosse and at Tierney Field, watching these IWLCA All-Star games. Draw control victory for the North.
And that's number 11, Allison Flaherty.
Yes,
Flaherty.
Correct. Trying to go to work.
Quick players out here, a lot of speed.
That's a great point. Both she and Cortez have already showed off the wheels in the early goings of this one. From around behind the goal, a couple of fakes. The other thing we see from Shannon Keeler is that much like Lauren Oakes in the Division II game,
being very active.
Exactly right.
Playing as if she was a defender.
Absolutely.
Giving them that advantage.
Not just holding her spot. Now Flaherty to her right, met by a couple of defenders. So she slows it down from William Smith, first-team All-American. Again, playing for her
getting
head
a little
coach.
crowded.
Oh, what an angle and what a shot. What a
still
score.
Able to finish.
That's Jordan Johnson from St. John Fisher, who scores to even things back up at 2 apiece. For Fisher, she set single-season records. Sorry, not for Fisher, for Johnson from St. John Fisher. She set single-season records at the school this year with both 57 goals and 54 assists.
And it's great seeing how a player can make it even. It's not like it's intentional, but getting 50 and 50 of goals and assists, she's a well-rounded player.
I think it shows what a teammate she is too, right? Like,
exactly.
You're that capable as a goal scorer, but yet you understand that's not your job every time you have the ball.
So I am seeing a little bit of cluster when playing. I think spreading out would be
and that probably comes
helpful.
With, as we've referenced a couple times during the course of our broadcast today.
A brief practice yesterday.
These teams came together yesterday.
Yep.
They had one practice together. They're not all used to each other. They're not all used to, and a number of them, as we referenced, are playing out of position today as well. So there's going to be some of that stuff that we're going to see. For the most part, it's still been pretty crisp lacrosse for the first 2 games and 7.5 minutes of this one. Possession continues for the North. From goal line extended. Now back behind to X. Surveying the field. And now back up to the top. Moving that ball over to the middle was Sarah Mineta. Now from the far side. And another patient possession that we see from this North side here, Tatum.
Going back the other way, South with the ball. It's North with 2, South with 2. About 22 minutes left to go in the first.
That's right. Yeah, we've been struggling with that as we've had so many games today.
Time is flying. Hopefully the South can get
a lot of
goal.
Space there. Stepping into it and drawing that shooting lane violation was
Carol
Vincent.
Oh, Carol with the shooting space behind.
Right, correct. Thank you. And what a job of stepping out to grab that one by Sarah Honan. We see these goalies just totally unafraid to leave that line and go make a play.
And I feel like that is rare for a goalie to do, to take those risks. And maybe these players aren't expecting it and aren't ready, but, great plays by the goalies.
And that one flicked forward by Cassandra Minard from Brockport. 34 ground balls, 35 caused turnovers, 42 draw controls this season for the senior defender. Now Messabody's in front, stepping through all of it's Flaherty, but she hasn't knocked out. She had a good path to goal, but she couldn't get a shot off as the ball was knocked away, and the ground ball pickup and the great individual effort on the clear going the other way.
Sometimes the quicker the shot, the better. It depends on the situation.
Sure.
But it still was a tough scenario.
Stepping into that shot, Earhart, but it's saved by Sarah Honan. And Honan with the long outlet pass gets it ahead to Mineta. Mineta's shown off her wheels today. She gets it forward. Now in transition goes Balzotti from Connecticut College. 108 career goals. Getting it up into the offense again. Oberg flips at the goal line extended. Now feed in front and delivering to make it a 3-2 game.
Balzotti came right in there off the feed. Lefty cradle on a shot. That was a great play. Great teamwork that we saw there and what the coach has been longing for.
No doubt. It's her first of the day, and it gives the North their first lead today at 3-2. 10 minutes gone here in the first half. And Balzotti just confidently took that ball, turned around, and delivered it to make it a 3-2 game. Head back to the draw control here. As the pace is moving. Again, running clock all day today in all three of these All-Star games. We've seen a running clock. That's the nature of, you don't want anybody getting hurt. You don't want anybody there's nothing to prove today, right? Like, you don't need to do anything crazy. You want it to be lacrosse.
You want to have fun, like we've been saying.
Right. And a running clock is not something that you don't see in the women's game. Obviously, if the team goes up by double digits, you see the running clock there. See what the whistle is here. It's going to go against the North, so there'll be an opportunity just beyond 8 meters. See if this is a drive-on goal. Oh, instead it's sent back behind the cage. Now trying to wrap around, nothing doing. Ball knocked out, but flag was up.
A little bit too much reaching over with that check. As we talked about before, a quick check is better and won't really be called.
So it'll be Dunn. Dunn steps in. Oh, great job of protecting the near post by Honan.
Honan is doing great so far. Only 12 minutes in, but she's definitely showing her strength.
Claire Ludlow. Now the bad news for Honan is there is another goalie on this team. So we're going to see Gabi Anderson come in as well. Gabi Anderson from Springfield is the other goalie on that roster. Another whistle. So another opportunity here. It looks like Dunn's going to get another chance off this restart. A lot of space, but does not try to take advantage of it. Instead, lays it back. 18 minutes to play here in the first half. South scored the first goal of the game. Since then, they've been outscored 3-1. It's a fortuitous bounce to hold on to possession there. 18 minutes to play from behind the cage. Ludlow. She fires it over to the far side. Good fake. Is driving to the right. Nothing there. Flip back. And the shooting lane violations. Catherine Vincent's going to get the free position opportunity.
Players on each side, so again, running it in and finishing strong will be a key to getting.
She's got help on the doorstep. She tries to shoot low. She just sort of pushes it into the legs, picking it up, however, and delivering on the rebound. A great score for Ida Earhart to even things up at 3 apiece.
D3 South, number 2, Ida Earhart.
For Earhart.
What a great pickup, though. So, Glenn, the key is when your goalie makes the first save, you need to have her back, and defense needs to pick it up. And unfortunately, they weren't able to get it, so she came right in and took advantage of it, as you could see in this replay right here.
And she had a head full of steam when she picked it up and just drives right in the goal and delivers. Earhart with 25 goals, 28 assists this season for Messiah. 53 points, and she gets the goal there to even it back up at 3 apiece as we approach the midway point of the first half. Of course, the Messiah team, no stranger to this area. They play at Stevenson. Those two teams typically at the top of their conference every year, MAC Commonwealth. Messiah has won the last couple, including winning the conference championship again this year. Another great year for the Falcons. One of their underclassmen, Jenna Stover, probably going to see her in this game in the future. The daughter of former Baltimore Ravens kicker Matt Stover. So a lot of connections to this area. In front. Now up to the top as the North tries to retake the lead. Kalbian from Stevens feeds it down to goal line extended.
Good defense.
Right, given nothing. Now from back behind the cage. And good slides, too, defensively. Double team, so trying to move it backwards. And you see the crowd appreciating the defense. Sort of hear that cheer in the background, just appreciating the solid defense that's being played by the South team. In any all-star game, you're not always used to great defense being played. Ball back on the turf.
Empty stick check called there.
Okay.
They'll be on the 8-meter.
So keep
right
it
outside.
With the North, right. Looks like it's going to come back to 12 off the restart. And Thiessen flips it back to the middle of the field. Now back behind the cage. North trying to retake the lead. Just about at the 15-minute mark of the first half. Inside. Oh, great job of finding some space to work with. And then delivering to make it 4-3.
North, number 2, Kelly Walls.
Kelly Walls, first of the day. The second-team All-American from Brockport. She had 42 goals and 18 assists this season. She scores there to put the North back on top.
So that was Kayla Miller playing defense on her, Salisbury University. Had great footwork in the beginning. She just went for that check a little too soon and lost her footwork.
And
she got the goal. But I understand it's hard with these games when you think you have the stick check and you go for it. But if she had great footwork in the beginning and is a very athletic player.
Miller, the second-team All-CAC performer. She earned her way here. Just gets beat there after she was trying to be a little too aggressive and allows the North to go back on top 4-3. Whistle here. Come back and do it again. Nope, it's just going to be a violation on the South, so it'll be North ball.
Yeah, North is up by 1. We're still in the first half with about 14 minutes to go.
What have been your impressions of these two teams so far, Tatum, as we're 16 minutes now into the first half?
Yeah, I think, again, we saw a high-scoring game with the D1 team, and this is a little bit low-scoring because we're seeing such great defensive plays.
Yeah.
I see 2 active goalies, which is very rare, and it's been a very entertaining game.
North trying to add to what is a 4-3 lead right now. 13:40 to play in the first half. And again, you talk about active goalies. That shot deflected. A good job to get over there and pick that one up by Shannon Keeler. But Keeler not just picking up the ball there, but she was out on the edge of the crease for the entirety of that possession. Mm-hmm. She was very much involved as a field player in that play.
Very active. What a great ground ball pickup right here by number 18 for the blue team.
Yeah, Devin Duran. From Eastern Connecticut State. She was twice named Little East Conference Defensive Player of the Year.
Wow.
Of course, I always chuckle about Little East, Big East. Like, it's just such a great name for a conference, right, at the D3 level. That's so tremendous. It comes all the way back, but it's scooped up, held on to by Delaney Carroll from Babson and all new MAC each of the last three seasons.
And it's funny because I've heard a lot, I don't know, I see great players out here. I don't really see,
that much of a quality difference between the levels.
The levels, which is
Sure.
great. This is a really great, a view on
D3
the
lacrosse
different
tends to be
divisions.
really high quality.
All the divisions are high quality. It gets to the point where recruiting, they're like, oh, are you going D1, D1? D2 and D3 teams are amazing, and they're proving it here today, and they're just showing it.
Free position opportunity here. North trying to add to. Long shot fired in, just taking a couple steps in and delivering to make it 5-3. Excellent goal scored by Serena Mineta.
Haverford College.
Yeah, that is her first of the day. She had a 40-goal, 8-assist season, including 3 game winners on the year.
And what I see is 64 draw controls. That's a lot
jumps
of
out,
draws.
you're right.
Yeah, definitely. Draws are what win the game. Draws and cause turnovers. You see that replay, a quick shot down below, a low shot.
Puts the North on top 5-3 with 11.5 to play here in the first half.
Is this the biggest lead of the game that they've
so
had
far?
so far?
Yeah, it's been a back and forth affair. Now we saw something similar in the last game. We saw the North team kind of pull away in the late stage of the first half. Be interesting to see if that's what happens here. South gets the ball off this draw control, trying to get back into this one, trailing 5-3 behind the cage, no path. So it's slowed down. Feed in front. There you go. Very quickly, 5-4.
Olivia Sisson for the South team went to Washington and Lee University.
Yep, first team All-ODAC performer this season. Scores her first of the day. To cut the lead back to 5-4.
D3 North leads 5-4.
And that's a great feed in front. Sisson just camped out in the right spot. And she goes over immediately and says thank you to Laura Dunn, who gets the assist on that goal for Dunn, first team All-American this season.
And we're back to a 1-goal
Right.
lead by the North. About 10 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Dunn was also the MVP of the Landmark Conference tournament this year for Catholic University. Cuts it back to a 5-4 game. Back to the draw control as we approach 10 minutes to play. Up in the air, trying to goose that one forward, but not able to come up with it.
Won by the North.
Instead, it's Delaney Carroll who takes the ball off the ground. One bounce off the turf for the defender from Babson. 3-time all-conference performer. She'll have it back off this restart. We go under 10 minutes to play in the first half. Glenn Clark alongside former Penn State All-American Tatum Coffey with you from Tierney Field at U.S. Lacrosse. The Division III IWLCA All-Star game. Mineta has her path taken away, so she sends it back behind the cage.
Wide open, number 5 for the blue team.
Yeah, Plunkett.
Rebecca Plunkett in the middle, but
Utica.
being smart with her passes.
Johnson sort of holding on. Now sends it back behind the cage to Bird. Bird, goal line extended now in front. She tries to get on the crease. Now spins back to her right, pulls the trigger on a shot and delivers.
So what I saw there, Glenn, was a lot of players were on the other side, and as she was rolling, they were pulling their defenders out, so they didn't have a chance to crash onto her. So she had a lot of space. When you watch with the replay coming up, she'll have a lot of space coming into the middle, and was able to get a great shot off.
For Bird, it's her second of the day.
Coming in, a lot of space. Everyone's kept in that corner.
And she gets her hands free, which is obviously what you need to have happen in order to take a shot from that space. Makes it a 6-4 game. Bird, the first team All Liberty League performer for William Smith this season. 49 goals, 16 assists. Makes it 6-4.
Back on the draw, about 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go. North 6, South 4.
Back up in the air. Comes away to the south. Good job that time by Earhart to get in the middle of that and come up with it. Now in transition, charging towards the goal, but sending that shot wide. It was a good look for Emily Mott from Mary Washington. 18 goals, 19 assists on the season, but she couldn't get one there. Gabby Frank from behind the cage leaves it down to the near side. Charging in, nowhere to go. So it comes back out. Jager moves it to the other side. Now a look right in on the crease. Getting free, but shot deflected. It's going to go high. It's backed up, held on to by the South. That look, I think, was there if the pass had been just a second or two sooner, Tatum.
Yeah, I agree with that, Glenn.
From behind the cage, Gabby Frank trying to get in front herself. Defenders just giving nothing right now. They are holding their own. Frank not able to tally
right
that
off the
one.
post.
And what's the call here? They're going to keep it with the South. I don't know what the call was there, Tatum.
We can watch with the replay.
Getting inside, having that one knocked out.
I guess too much of a body. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it.
Yeah.
I thought that was great defense. Oh.
And now.
Yeah, it was a charge, I'm guessing.
Okay, that makes a lot of
sense. So a charge necessarily doesn't mean that a player needs to fall over.
Right.
It means digging your shoulder in.
You have the space.
Yes.
Yep. So Cortez draws the charge there and wins it back for the North. Giselle Cortez from Rowan, second-team All-American this season, finished her career with 84 caused turnovers and 153 ground balls.
Gabi Anderson out really far, and that ultimately sends a South player to go after her, and the ball going down the field now.
I guess we should have started by, we never said that Gabby Anderson came into the game in goal for
I guess what the
team.
coaches are doing half and
15
half.
minutes.
Yep, 15.
Turnaround shot does not get through for Flaherty. It was knocked down.
So Haley Joyce is in the net for the South team from Albright College.
So they're doing the same thing.
Yep.
So they're doing 15 minutes. Gabby Anderson from Springfield this season, 7.49 goals against average. She stopped 52.4% of the shots that she faced, whereas Haley Joyce for Albright made 147 saves this season, stopping 45.7% of the shots that she faced, a 10.2 goals against average. Possession continues for the North, under 6 minutes to play, as they try to add to what is already a 6-4 lead. From behind the cage, now goal line extended. Is lobbed back to the middle. Athens, the other side of the field. Now it's Jaeger.
Great feed.
It's Kalbian and Oberg. Instead, it's intercepted, taken away by Emily Mott from Mary Washington. Big hit in the middle of the field. Cortez comes away with it. She turns on the Jets.
A lot of great defensive plays by Cortez today. Definitely agree.
You could tell right there. I think Cortez for a second was thinking that she could go get something for herself offensively, but she decided to think better of it.
Yeah, no need to rush it right now. North is up by 2.
Trail check knocks that one out, however, and the South will get it right back.
We have 5 minutes to go in the first half. Let's push the ball for the South team.
As they try to close this 6-4 gap.
Great double, great check by Cortez.
Ball comes right out, and another ground ball pickup for the North.
That was a great team effort all around defensively by the North team.
But a hounding effort in recovery there by Brianna Reisner from Fairleigh Dickinson. Third-team All-American, earns the ball back for the South. 4.5 to play. Jaeger flips it back down towards goal line extended. Couple of fakes, trying to camp out.
Trying the Twizzler.
Turnaround
so that's
look.
dropping the stick, cradling it back the opposite way, and then finishing with a shot. Just went a little bit wide.
My body doesn't contort that way.
It's hard to make that shot accurate, but that was a great attempt. It was a smart decision.
Oh, what a stop. Gabby Anderson, that wasn't on the doorstep. That was with somebody having their right foot all the way in your house, and you managed to push them back
And
out.
Anderson likes coming out, taking her time on the clear, which is what she should be doing. The North is up by 2.
We'll watch this one more time, and you'll see wide open, a tremendous feed. We're going to take one more second before you'll be able to see it, as Gabby Anderson's going to make just a spectacular save. It was a great move by Stephanie Athens coming back the other way. Spins in front. That was the Twizzler shot, so that wasn't the save.
So again, the Twizzler shot is hard to make accurate, but that was a right decision of her getting more to the middle rather than taking an off-angle shot.
Great point. Approach 3 minutes to play off this restart.
North has the ball.
Right, it belongs to Gallagher. And she's just going to try to sort of push a little roller towards the goal, but not able to beat Haley Joyce with that.
It's a tough thing when you drop your stick. The goalie automatically knows that you're going low. So it was a good attempt, but North luckily has the ball back, so let's see what they can do right here.
Under 3 minutes to play in the first half. This is our final game of 3 today here at Tierney Field, the IWLCA All-Star Games on IWLCA TV. So glad that you have been with us. Whether this is the first game you've been with us for today or whether you've been with us for all three, shame you couldn't have come out and joined us here at the U.S. Lacrosse headquarters on what has been an absolutely spectacular day for the final day of the college lacrosse season.
And you could see number 10 here, Stephanie Athens, throwing her hands up. She already knew she was in shooting space, so then North will get on the 8-meter.
Yep, gives Bird the free position chance. Trying to add to this 6-4 lead. However, she hasn't knocked out. Good job of getting that one back. Good pickup there by Jessie Thiessen to protect possession for the North. 2 minutes to play. Spinning in front, nowhere to go for Gallagher. So she flips it all the way back out to Bird. Bird, now back to goal line extended in Gallagher. Gallagher drifts in. No path to the goal. So tries to create one.
Definitely a little bit crowded here if they can spread out for this last, minute and 40 seconds.
Ooh, getting inside and delivering right on the doorstep. Gallagher with her first of the day out of Bowdoin College. And the North has extended their lead to 7-4 with 1.5 to play.
Again, she had 34 goals, 20 assists, and 20 ground balls.
These are the reasons why they're all-stars, right?
It is,
you don't
I know.
become an all-star without
like
stuffing the stat sheet a little bit.
We act surprised,
yeah,
but
right?
they're great stats. She comes in,
These silly broadcasters.
feeds it behind, move inside around the crease, and quick shot.
That's just a really great fake. And trying to hold position was Parker Hamill.
And when you're at that angle, you need to throw a fake in order to get the goalie off guard.
Right, obviously you can't shoot from a zero angle there. You had to get some sort of space. And Hamill, the third-team All-American, she's a really good defender, but that's just a great job done in order to get the goal and make it a 7-4 game. 40 seconds to play. Another chance here for the South. Amazingly, it doesn't feel this way, but this is actually going to be our highest-scoring first half of the day.
Yeah.
Which is weird, right?
Yeah,
definitely. It doesn't feel like that. 30 seconds to play. Inside.
North 7, South 4.
Oh, good look, but another great save by Anderson. And that one will be scooped up with 20 seconds left. We'll see if the North can force the issue here. In the D2 game, we had the North score a goal in the closing seconds. Anderson's not interested in that. Anderson's totally fine with running out the final 10 seconds of this half. And the North having a 7-4 advantage at, interception, 2 seconds left. Got to pull the trigger on the shot. It'll be wide. Created some drama there in the closing seconds, but
definitely some excitement going on.
Did not change anything. 7-4, the score at the half. The North on top of the South. Glenn Clark alongside Tatum Coffey. Tatum, a game in which, again, was very competitive. The North just sort of started to pull away in the later stages of the first half.
Yeah, we've been seeing that a lot. The North team is coming up strong, but what I've been noticing is that the goalies are very active on both sides, and they've been adding to another defender on each end of the field.
Just one multi-goal scorer so far in the first half. It's Alexandra Bird from William Smith, who has 2 for the North, 1 apiece for Kelly Wall, as well as Jordan Johnson, Kelsey Gallagher, and Serena Mineta for the South. Goal scorers include Ida Earhart, as well as Catherine Vinson and Olivia Sisson. 7-4 at the break. We'll have half number 2 for you when we come back in. This is the Division III IWLCA All-Star Game on IWLCA TV. Glenn Clark alongside former Penn State All-American Tatum Coffey as we get ready for half number 2 here in the Division III All-Star game, IWLCA TV. Tatum, what did you see in the first half, and what do you expect in half number 2?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of great effort from the goalies. We've been talking about that they've been very active in coming out and playing as another defender. So I expect another great defensive half here today.
7-4 the score right now, the North on top as we get ready for half number 2. Teams will switch sides. Looks like they're going back to their starting goalies as well, as we expected. It's a 15-minute rotation on the goalies here in this game. As in there for the South is Shannon Keeler again from Gettysburg. And on the other side, it does indeed appear to be Sarah Honan for the North. So they do go back to the starting goalies to start the second half.
North is at 7 right now. The South is at 4.
North in the blue. They'll be going from left to right on your internet dial. And now starting the second half with the ball is the South in the white, going from right to left. And driving all the way in to start it is Brooke Gamble from Messiah. Didn't call her name much in the first half. 41 ground balls, 21 caused turnovers this season. Great job of knocking that one down and taking it away.
Delaney Carroll from the North team.
Excellent defensive play for the senior defender from Babson. And she appeared to be comfortable pushing it all the way up.
Definitely, fresh legs in the second half, able to run more and take those 5 minutes to get a good break.
From behind the goal, North trying to pad that 7-4 advantage. And this has been the story in all 3 games. We've just seen these South teams struggle in the closing stages of the first half and then have that continue into the beginning of the second half, these offensive slumps. A minute gone by in the second half, which is weird because in both of the last 2 games, it was the South who got on board the first, and they got on board in the first 12 seconds of the games.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Wide open on the right side.
Coming around from...
Getting that double team. So when that double team comes, Glenn, they need to swing it, then swing it again in order to get that open player.
I love it when you get animated talking about lacrosse,
I do.
Tatum Coffey. I love that. That's fun for me.
I get excited because I want, and I bet you the coach is saying that on the sideline too. Swing it.
Let's do it, right?
Yeah.
Thiessen flips it back to the top. Now drifting down to her right and then changing, going back to the left, was Mineta. It was easier to tell where Mineta was in the first half because she's got that red hairband. But now going the other way, you didn't see the hairband at first. Now drawing the violation as she charged in was Oberg. Sorry, that's actually number 8, Tina Balzotti. Balzotti steps in, save made.
A great
save by
pickup.
Shannon Keeler. Now she couldn't find the ball. Luckily, her teammate was there to bail her out.
Yeah, Stephanie Athens was there to pick up the ball. And like I said before, if the goalie makes that first save, they need to be able to pick it up.
But a turnover in transition goes right back to the north side. Ball back on the turf, however, a chance to win it back for the South. Over battling in the corner and somehow coming away with that one. Great effort by Farrell to pick that one up. Allison Farrell, senior from McDaniel College in nearby Westminster, Maryland. She's actually a Towson native just down the street. So imagine she's got a good cheering section here to support her. All Centennial Conference honorable mention performer this year. Splitting defenders, but having the ball knocked out at the last second was Sisson. Whistle. Actually, sorry, that's number 3, Megan Galvin from Christopher Newport, the second-team All-American. And she'll get the free position chance. A good amount of space to work with here.
Yeah, in her right hand. We'll see what she could do.
Galvin steps in and delivers to the far post.
Awesome finish. And when you have that free position shot, you should be able to make it. It's a free shot, and she was able to take advantage of that.
Galvin, the second-team All-American. Look at those numbers for this season.
Wow, 46 goals and 44 assists. And I love when it's even like that.
Yep.
It shows that she's a well-rounded player. If you see this replay, she comes in our right side and fires it low. Gets excited about the goal, too,
No
which
doubt.
I think is great.
Takes advantage of that free position opportunity to make it a 7-5 game, so back within 2, now with 26.5 to play here in the second half.
So the biggest lead that we've seen is only 3 goals.
Right. This has been a very close game.
This has been a very great game, very competitive, as you can see.
She's Tatum Coffey. I'm Glenn Clark. So glad that you are with us. We are at U.S. Lacrosse headquarters here in Sparks, Maryland, northern Baltimore County.
Again, sunny and 75.
Just a perfect day it's been for these 3 IWLCA All-Star games on the final day of college lacrosse season. And what a year it was. Maryland, of course, at D1 level, finishing with an undefeated season and winning the national championship. At Delphi, winning the D2 title, and Gettysburg, the D3 champions. We've seen a few of the Bullets here in action today after winning the title last weekend.
What a great
gets through.
fake.
Oh, my.
Megan Galvin from Christopher Newport University. What a great fake.
Back-to-back goals from Galvin. She now, that's her second of the day, makes it a 1-goal game with 25-20 to play in the second half.
And now it's 7 for the North, 6 for the South. If you watch this replay coming up eventually, it's the fake high, shoot low.
Yep.
I think it went right between the legs.
And that absolutely bought the ability to shoot through as Honan was prepared for the high shot. And that gave Galvin the opportunity to deliver and make it a 1-goal game. 25 minutes to play. So it was 7-4. South has gotten ink back in. Maybe some Southern pride perhaps here as they're trying to prevent the South from being shut out today.
I wonder what was said in the locker room by head coach.
Well, I don't think they made it back to the locker room in our 5-minute halftime.
Yeah.
I think they were just sort of hanging out on the sidelines.
I guess what was said on the sidelines
right.
of some urgency. You know, they have to draw again in order to get back on the board.
And a chance to tie it up now is Vanessa Budd with a great effort to clear it, get them into the offense, and here we go on the attack in a 7-6 game. It's been a very good start to the second half for this Southern team. And again, you see Sarah Honan, the William Smith goalie for the North team. She is not camping out on that goal line at all. Bounce shot, and Honan makes the save this time.
Great save. That was also a great take by Claire Schmitzer, but wasn't able to finish.
Schmitzer from Catholic University's second-team All-Landmark Conference performer this season after being a first-teamer. Not just last year as a junior, but she was actually a first-team conference performer as a freshman in 2014. She's had a great career. The other way, Hillary O'Neill brings it up. O'Neill from Cortland. She was part of a defensive unit that allowed just 8.3 goals per game this season. She gets them into their offense, now protecting a 7-6 lead. Thinking about the shot as soon as she got it was Flaherty, but that was from a bit too far out. We saw some of those longer shots in the D1 game. Going for the interception, not coming up with it, allowing the shot, but Catrano cannot beat Shannon Keeler.
It was a great catch by Catrano. You could hear the crowd sigh as they thought that it was going to be an interception, but again, wasn't able to finish. I think the key for this half, since it's such a close game, is to place your shots.
That's
right. That's going to be huge.
Catrano, the attacker from York College, set a new school single-season record with 30 assists this season.
Some speed there with Emily Mott.
Bringing it all the way up for Mary Washington and getting the South back into their offense. Cortez in trouble. She hits the turf. Ball will go out on the far side of the field. I thought that was a pass. Oh, they say it was deflected. Okay. There you go. Say it's deflected, so it stays with the South. Charging all the way in, but shooting it right off the body of Honan was the charging Stephanie Athens. She snuck through those defenders remarkably, but the shot placement just wasn't there. She put it right off the torso of Sarah Honan.
As the score is getting closer, I definitely see some urgency with these players. It's making the game very exciting.
And that is the cool part about this being an all-star game, is that you can sense in a close game, yeah, we want to win. We prefer to win it, right?
Yeah, why lose? Why go home?
Right.
Exactly.
It's one thing if you get to the end of the game and it's a 5-goal game with 2 minutes left and you sort of say, all right, it's not the end of the world. We're not going to kill ourselves trying to win an all-star game. But you're not trying to not win. If it's a close game, which obviously it is right now, 22 minutes to play.
I think it comes down to, we always talking about this, is that I think it was a turf slip up right there.
Yeah, hitting the turf on that run was Kelly Wall from
But
Rockport.
we're going to see a yellow card come out here if we can get a replay.
That's the first penalty we've seen all day.
With a yellow card.
Wow, so that'll be 2 minutes.
I don't know if it was a trip up or what, but
free position opportunity here for Balzotti, and she just sort of pulls the trigger. That's a possession shot, though.
And that's a men's shot that you'll see. They shoot outside the 8 or at the 8. Women's you necessarily run it in, but it was a good attempt.
And knowing you have the extra man for 2 minutes, you want to make sure you get a great look here.
Exactly.
I apologize. I was playing the role of analyst there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I totally agree with that, though. I forgot that you already gave him a yellow card. I was kind of surprised by that. But spreading the ball out right here, they're kind of clumped up. Spreading the ball out is going to be huge, and then as well as moving the ball.
Bird started to her left, now back to her right. She tries to feed it into the middle, but it's just picked cleanly. Great effort by Parker Hamill, the third-team All-American, the first-team All-ODAC performer this season.
So with about a minute of the card left, what you're
Right.
going to see with the South team is that they're going to try to maintain possession, and then with the North, hopefully they're going to double it because they are a man up.
And I think this is also a question of it being an all-star game versus being a regular game. In a regular game, there's no doubt you're going to run out the rest of that penalty. In an all-star game, you might just say,
you might rush it a little bit more.
Right. And end up losing the ball in the process. But you're going to kill off the majority of that card in the process. Approaching 20 minutes to play as the North gets it back. Leading by 1, 7-6 here in the D3 All-Star game. Bird into the box, now all the way in, charging, has her shot deflected, however. It'll still be backed up and held onto by the North. Bird got a good look off, just had it deflected at the last second. Stays with the North from behind the cage. Leading by just 1 at 7-6. Fed to the front. That one's knocked out, but Alexandra Bird draws the whistle. And so she's going to get the free position chance here, and maybe a chance to make up for the one that she wasn't able to get a second ago. Bird, a multi-goal scorer already. She's got 2, make it 3.
Great low shot by Bird.
She's got the hat trick.
And again, giving North that
Cushion,
two-goal,
right.
that 2-goal lead with about 19 minutes left in the second half.
After the South had charged back from down 3 to make it a 1-goal game again and had their chances, obviously, to try to tie it up, the North withstands, and then they deliver a goal of their own to make it a 2-goal game again with 19 minutes to play. We'll watch it one more time.
Comes in, quick shot, 3 steps within the 8-meter, and the low shots have been, a big key to today.
And right at that far post as well. So really good placement on the shot by Bird. Third of the game. Playing for her head coach, Ann Phillips, one more time today. Obviously a comfort level there.
Now, number 10 right here, Stephanie Athens has been key with the draw. She's been winning a lot. So, again, the draw is vital in order to win.
Athens leaves it behind to Gabby Frank. Frank surveys the field. Now sends it back. And we'll see exactly what it is they try to do with this possession. A couple of fakes. Now Laura Dunn did not engage after either of the fakes. You see Dunn wearing the full face mask today. You imagine that means she's probably had some sort of injury at some point in her career that's made her change her mind about her protection.
A fun fact, I got my 2 bottom teeth knocked out from lacrosse.
God.
It happens. The metal shafts, they come up, hit your face, whether it's lacrosse balls. I don't know how the goalies do it. But it happens with those small goggles.
Did you switch to full face protection after
that?
that?
I did not.
You just kept
and I was
goggles?
wearing a mouth guard, so
Wow.
it depends. So they are trying to, make helmets a thing with women's lacrosse, but the goggles seem to still be prevalent.
Well, obviously it's the least. It interferes the least. It's the most natural of the options for facial protection.
Yes, exactly.
Honan picked up the ground ball and turned it the other way for the North, leading 8-6 now with 17:20 to play in this one as they try to add to this 2-goal advantage. Pace has slowed down a bit in the second half. Getting in front, easy finish, is just creating space was Kelsey Gallagher.
And we call that a dunk shot. She just seemed to put that in right over the goalie's head and close to the crease. We'll see how she did that.
Gallagher, her second goal of the day for the attacker from Bowdoin College, re-extends the lead to 3 at 9-6, matching the largest lead of the game.
So she comes in, gives her space to roll inside on the crease, and again, here's the dunk. You'll see dunk right over the head.
Right over the helmet. That's a great, great call. 9-6, 16 and a half to play in the second half. So the South got back within 1, but the North has extended their lead to 3. That's South head coach Mike Faith from Franklin and Marshall. We spoke to him earlier in the week. He's got a couple of his players here with them, Sarah Bazzo as well as Vanessa Budd and Gabby Frank.
So South draw.
but they end up losing it.
They end up losing it. So the North hasn't had a bigger lead than 3, so let's see if they'll add to that.
Chance to take their largest lead of the game right here as they get the ball back, approaching the midway point of the second half. And you just feel like maybe the South had their run, they had their chance, and the North has maybe seized control of this game back. And
Great pickup.
Give the chance to the North to make it a clean sweep today. Early today, the North side won both the D1 and D2 All-Star games.
What a great riser.
Sidearm shot
by Belzotti.
Belzotti scores to make it 10-6, and yes, that is the largest lead of the day for the North. Oh, it was Gallagher that was given credit for that one. Kelsey Gallagher will get her third, give her the hat trick today.
Wow.
6 and 8 look a lot like each other.
Yeah, that's my bad. Gallagher comes in with a sidearm shot. The goalie was positioned low, saw the stick drop, like I said earlier, then the shot went high. So, again, my apologies, Kelsey Gallagher with her, you said, third of the day.
Ties to the team lead, and that's going to allow for the goalie change.
And we have 2 hat tricks today, Kelsey Gallagher, like we just saw, and then Alexandra Bird for the North team.
That's right.
So, again, the largest lead that they've had so far, and with about 15 minutes in the second half.
And we see the switch. Honan goes out. Gabi Anderson goes back in for the North in goal. And it looks like it's still Shannon Keeler in there for the South right now. We'll see if and when they might make their switch in goal. The North gets it back, leading 10-6, trying to add to it as they are pulling away here. As we've reached the final 15 minutes of our day. Running clock continues. I'm Glenn Clark. She's Tatum Coffey, the former Penn State All-American and a former IWLCA All-Star herself. What are the moments like when you realize this is it?
I think it's more you experience that moment after your final college game when you lose, you know, unless you're winning the national championship.
Right, yes.
So it's, and you know, after playing with players that you played with for 4 years, it's definitely upsetting. But this game was definitely like a last hoorah.
Just a neat sort of.
Exactly. So I think all smiles walking off the field, win or lose today.
Maybe like a going away party, perhaps.
Yeah, you know, I remember for mine, I had my whole family there. We went out to eat. So it's kind of like a lacrosse graduation.
That's cool. That's a really, really neat way to describe
it.
Possession continues for the North. As we go under 14 minutes to play, low shot will be easily scooped up by Shannon Keeler. That was just another sort of roller that was sent on goal.
And I do want to point out, I see Keeler has shin guards on, which I haven't seen too much today. The goalies are not wearing that many pads, so it's very risky of them, but Keeler is well protected.
In transition goes the South, trying to get back into this one. Good feed in the middle of the field.
It was a scoop shot, a pass,
Ends up being flipped right onto the doorstep. Possession continues. Now all sorts of trouble, and it's Cortez again. Cortez has been great.
She's been doing great with the ground ball pickups, the checks, the calls, turnovers.
She's been a nightmare to be.
I would like to see her on offense, and even though she's a defender, I would like to see her run it down the field.
Give her a chance to get down and get involved on the other side of the field.
Again, you can see Anderson, no shin guards shown, very risky player, coming out a little bit far. She's almost reaching the restraining line.
And nobody's coming to pressure her.
I think it's just a matter of marking up at this point with about 12 minutes and 45 seconds left to go. Some speed here with number 16, Cassandra Minard.
From Brockport, she gets it into the box, and so setting up again offensively is the North side. This was a 7-6 game just a few minutes ago. The South had gotten right back into it, but the last 3 goals all scored by the North to extend the lead back to 4 at 10-6.
And you could see the South team a little bit more urgency to pressure out and double the, 12 minutes left to go. They need the ball back, and they need to score down by 4.
A great move to get inside, a low shot, but wide of the cage.
A great check
there to pick it up.
Made by White.
It's Catrano. Catrano looking for the screen, doesn't get it. She lobs it in front, unable to connect with Flaherty, but a whistle, and I think that's a push.
Either a push or an empty stick check we have there. That's a tough one. She definitely wanted to. Stephanie Athens definitely wanted to get in the 8, So she did a great job of crashing.
So Flaherty will get the free position opportunity. Takes a couple steps in. Shot altered in some way. Goes high. It's backed up. Held on to by the North. Still with that 4-goal lead. 10-6. 11.5 to play. That shot wide of the cage. Trying to pick it up. Finally able to get it is Keeler.
Great pickup by the keeper.
And now trying to clear there's still time with 11:15 to play, obviously.
And it is possible for them to score 4 goals. Women's lacrosse is, and lacrosse alone is the fastest game on 2 feet, so they can get it back.
And unlike a lot of sports, you have the advantage of after you score, you can go get the ball back.
Mm-hmm.
Inside, losing it
again. Cortez,
whistle this time is Laura Dunn. Laura Dunn kind of, and maybe it's just because I've seen all the trailers for the movie recently, kind of going with a bit of a Spider-Man look.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just call it like it is.
Let's
She's
do
going
it. Well, and
with
look at this. She has a lot of her right side open. Hopefully she can finish this.
Weave her web here. She gets inside. Great save by Gabi Anderson.
And I don't know if that's 6 because of the school she plays for, certain colors.
Right. That's a great point.
Depends.
Catholic U does have red. Yeah, they're the Redbirds, right?
So that makes sense. And a lot of the times they do women's lacrosse, they make the strings yellow because the ball is yellow. So it would be harder to see in their stick.
That would be really difficult. That's a great point.
So that is
we approach
why they do that.
10 minutes to play here in our final game of the day. Just in case I forget later, I want to thank our entire crew who has worked tirelessly today.
Definitely.
That one
off
goes
the post.
hard off the post, bounces all the way out to the restraining line. It's held onto by the North. Had a tremendous group of people working to make this one possible.
Definitely.
Led by Nick Plum. Appreciate all of their efforts in all 3 games here today. Under 10 minutes to go. North protecting a 10-6 advantage. Oberg flips it inside, all over her with the defenders, but Allison Flaherty says, heck, I'll score anyway.
North, number 11, Allison
She's done a lot today, but remarkably, that's her first goal of the day to make it an 11-6 game.
We've definitely seen her, on the draw with the calls turnovers and ground balls, so it's great for her to get a goal.
Get on the board, right?
Get on the board.
Absolutely. 11-6 as we approach 9 minutes to play. Again, still plenty of time, but the South just appears to have kind of run into a bit of a brick wall here in the last 8 or so minutes, Tatum.
Yes, exactly. You can see North team coach Ann Phillips there again, William Smith College coach.
Yep.
Talking to her player, Sarah Honan, who
She's
played
talking to
for
her own goalie.
Exactly.
I don't know what she was frustrated with there.
Yeah,
she did that dismissive sort of arm motion. What could you be unhappy about?
Yeah, I guess, she's going to miss her senior goalkeeper.
It's her last time to yell at her?
Yell at her one more time before she leaves.
One more chance.
So that was a, dangerous check call. And number 4.
Claire Ludlow will have
get
it
the ball
for the South off the restart. Ludlow trying to get into the middle. Now she flips it to the other side. And there you go. It's a good decision as Ludlow feeds Megan Galvin. Galvin, she's got the hat trick now. So South gets back within 4 at 11-7.
A great low shot by Galvin. And about 8 minutes left to go. And again, it's only, you see her come in, feed, pass to Galvin, low shot. Quick cradle and release. So
and with a head full of steam, too.
Yeah, and it's so funny. Galvin definitely gets excited when she scores, and I love seeing that. I think she gets very excited.
It's lacrosse, have fun.
Exactly. We keep saying that. So a 4-goal lead by the North, about 7 minutes and 40 seconds to go. I think, there could still be time to get back on the board for South.
It's not impossible, obviously. 7.5 to play. You got to win draws, clearly. You got to take advantage of those possessions. Don't have much of a margin for error. Had a chance to win that one, but couldn't field it. Ball's back on the turf, still with a chance to come away with it. Instead, it's going to go the other way. It's a good ground ball pickup by Devin Duran from Eastern Connecticut State. Duran, a little bit of trouble over along the far sideline, hasn't knocked out, but a whistle, as it was Emily Mott with the aggressive play trying to knock that ball out. Stays with the North, approaching 7 minutes to go. Back in the middle of the field, Kalbian from Stevens Tech. 31 goals, 7 assists this season.
And that is that number 6 again. It's hard to see these numbers.
Yeah, it's 6-8 difference. That was number 6, Kelsey Gallagher, that time, looking for feet in the middle of the field.
And definitely directing her teammates that she hasn't really played with, which I think is awesome.
Unable to get that ball.
Oh, a push call.
Okay, the push goes against number 4,
and
Jordan Johnson.
You hear the crowd cheering. They're excited for the South to get back and going and score some goals.
We haven't had late-minute drama yet today. I think the crowd here wouldn't mind if we got a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of last-minute drama in one of these games today. In transition goes Ludlow. She ran a good transition the last time. This time she flips it back towards the middle of the field.
Another flip.
Short flip this time, and charging in, but having the ball knocked out was Emily Mott. However, whistle, she's going to get a free position chance.
And I don't know what I feel about sometimes the calls playing across. I feel like they get too strict, but it's good that she gets this opportunity. Mott
shoots high, wide, however. It's backed up and held on to by the South.
I think it's going the other way.
Oh, I did not even see.
Yeah.
Apologies. I saw Gabby Frank. I did not see that Erin Mensch from York had gotten behind her. Great job by Erin Mensch. How's this for Erin Mensch from York? This is a great story. So she goes her entire Spartans career, never scored a goal.
Wow.
On senior day this year.
Scores her first goal?
3.
No way. Wow.
Hat trick
and
on
she's
senior
a defender.
Day this year. Yes.
That's awesome. That's a
what
great.
What a neat way for her to end her Spartans career at home. On senior day, she gets the hat trick, her first and only 3 goals of her career.
That's great.
Neat
hey,
story.
You feel some seniority when you're a senior. You get some more confidence.
And I'm sure that was part of it, is that they were giving her the
definitely.
opportunities a little bit more too. But still, that's just
great.
so cool. 5 minutes to play, South.
And you could see that Megan Galvin's definitely directing her teammates. I like, when they take leadership, it's
Ludlow
hard to.
Gets inside, has her shot deflected.
It's definitely hard to work together again when you haven't played with these girls.
No doubt. Mott flips it to Jager. Kind of getting to must-score territory right now for the South as we approach 4:40 to play. And they're down by 4 here in the second half.
And North might be going for that double.
Good feed in front. I thought that was a goal.
I did see the net shake a little bit.
I thought that was a goal.
Definitely difficult.
Not called that way. And I can't tell if Mike Faith was screaming that it should have been. We saw that in the men's national championship game this year, right, where it looked like Maryland at the end of the second quarter had scored the goal, no call. They had the goal cam on ESPN, and you could tell it was a goal.
Yeah.
But the officials aren't allowed to look at the goal cam because it's considered a foreign camera angle.
Yep.
So it was uncalled. That's
crazy.
We have no angle by which to know if that was a goal or not. But
that was insane.
Under 4 minutes to go.
Again, North 11, South 7 in the second half.
And now it looks like they're going to start icing this one away as they're playing a little bit more of a sort of pitch and catch here on this possession.
Yeah, no rush.
Flip back out. That's Jessie Thiessen from Allegheny. All NCAC first-team performer and the NCAC midfielder of the year this year. She wrapped up a very good career at Allegheny. Comes back out to the top. Really picked up by Thiessen.
And we talked about the shot clock before. And
Yeah,
this is
this
a
would be
moment.
a spot, right?
Yes, this is a moment where definitely the North team, they're up. Why force a shot?
And the difference being obviously the D3 level, we didn't have the shot clock yet this year. That's still coming. They were giving all the schools the opportunity to upgrade their facilities so they could have a shot clock.
And unfortunately thrown away, and South will get an opportunity to get the ball.
Yep,
they got out of this one easy.
Vincent picks it up, but they got to go in a hurry with just 2:51 to play.
Ooh, tough check there.
Obviously, not all women's lacrosse teams play at the same facilities as the men's teams. Not all schools have football teams, so not all schools had clocks available. So that's why they were given that 1-year reprieve at the D3 level with no shot clock in order for the facilities, the schools, to pick that up. How about Cortez getting another ground ball there? She's been great.
Who do you think's going to get the...
it's like you're reading. We've only worked together for a few hours, and yet here we are on the same wavelength.
I know. We're on the same page. So,
I was about to ask the same question.
Being the analyst, I will tell you, I do think Cortez had an awesome game.
So you think she's MVP today?
I do think she's MVP. If it was the other way around, I would think if the South team was up, it would be Galvin.
Okay, so you have the 2 3-goal scorers for the North. You
yeah.
have
I would
Gallagher
love
and
to
Bird.
see a defender. Defenders, it's tough. They don't really normally
it's
win.
a good point. We had an offensive player in the first game. We had a goalie in the second
and then
game.
Maybe a defense.
So maybe a defensive player in game number 3.
I mean, they're not. I don't know if they're taking stats of ground balls and calls turnovers, but she's definitely have the highest so far from what we could tell.
We called her name a lot.
Yeah,
today for
and
defensive plays.
You definitely have Kelsey Gallagher with 3 goals for the North, and then Alexandra Bird. So it'll be a tough one between those 3.
Minute and a half to play. Interesting to see who ends up being named our MVP. We'll try to stick around on the broadcast until they make the announcement of who the MVP is as we wrap up for the day.
We have a minute and 15 seconds to go. Again, North 11, South with 7.
And it'll stay with the North here as we approach the final minute. So the outcome obviously no longer in doubt. It's going to be a clean sweep for the North today. They will win all 3 of our IWLCA All-Star games, having won the D1 and D2 games earlier today. Whistle with 50 seconds to play.
It's tough because when you get down to the crunch time, obviously the white team is going to be more urgent.
Balzotti shoots low. Another
Great
good save.
Maybe they can get another goal out of this for the South team.
Yeah, right. One more chance. And
Maybe
look
the
at
goalie
taking it
gets
herself. Goes Shannon Keeler. You know she was thinking about it for just a second. You know, for a second she was like, oh, heck, it's an all-star game.
It's happened.
There's less than a minute to play. I'm just going to take this myself and see what happens. But decided that wouldn't be the case. 30 seconds left. It's pushed forward. This will be presumably the final possession. It's knocked out, some contact to the head, so it'll stay with the South. But they got to go quickly here. Off the restart. Pushed into the middle of the field, not able to get the shot off.
Cortez again.
Getting it right back, and another save made by Anderson.
A little scrap going on right here.
And that will be how this one concludes. So the North finishes it off. They sweep all 3 of our All-Star games here today at Tierney Field, winning the D3 All-Star game 11-7 after winning the D1 and the D2 All-Star games earlier today. Glenn Clark, Tatum Coffee with you here from U.S. Lacrosse headquarters after what's been a very exciting day. Dominant performances by all 3 of the North teams. Tatum, what did you like in Game 3?
I think the best thing was that you could see was that the players were working together more than we thought they would because they are from different colleges, but they worked together really well. A lot of assists, not just 1v1s, and they were able to pull through.
Adding goalie play that was spectacular in both of the D2 and the D3 game. We saw some really spectacular goalie play.
Definitely, and defensively as well. We saw a lot of cause turnovers and ground ball pickups, which was great to see.
Nice to see players who knew this was an all-star game, knew the result didn't matter, but yet gave it the effort to do it anyway as they closed out their college careers.
Exactly. I call it the college graduation.
No doubt about that. As you see on the field, both teams celebrating a fun day of lacrosse and what has been in general just a fun day here in Sparks, Maryland. It's been a great day to celebrate women's lacrosse and an outstanding season for these players, some of whom will go on to professional careers or to get involved with coaching. A lot of these players will be graduate assistants at their schools next season or volunteer assistants as they get ready for whatever it is they're going to do in their life. They try to stick around the game of lacrosse. We see that regularly, but for some, this is it.
And we wish them the best of luck.
Nope, no matter what they do. That's a great point, Tatum. What a day it has been. Thank you to everyone who has been a part of our broadcast today, the entire crew. It has been really, really fun to bring them to you. And we wait.
We're waiting for the MVP right here.
Oh, how about that? We did not see that coming at all. Kathleen Kalbian from Stevens, named MVP of the D3 All-Star Game. She was very involved with ground balls and defense and doesn't have the stats, didn't score anything, but she was very involved on the field today. Kalbian named MVP for the North here today. Well, that'll do it for us. It's been a really, really fun day. Tatum Coffee, greatly enjoyed working with you today.
Thanks, Glenn.
Enjoy the season with the Long Island Sound. Best of luck to you and best of luck to all of these young ladies as they continue whatever it is they're going to do, whether it be in lacrosse or outside of lacrosse moving forward. Again, your final score from game number 3. The North defeats the South 11-7. The North wins all 3 games here today at the IWLCA All-Star Games. For the entire crew, I am Glenn Clark. Thank you for joining us on this great Saturday in northern Baltimore County. This has been IWLCA TV.